3, 2, 1.
Oh my god! That's so cool!
Alrighty folks, welcome back. Today's video is part of a new series. I call it Fishing and Kayak Tip Series, FAKTS. So today the plan is to finally install this NOCQUA gear, and then I'm gonna install some lights. So I haven't actually seen these yet. So I bought 2 packs of these. These are 6.5 feet long. And I believe you can change colors on this. Take a look, see what this looks like. So these are LED strips, so it looks like it's a remote control, some instructions, and then these are the lights. It's really for just entertainment, just to have some lights, you know, inside the deck here, just to have fun with it. So I'm not sponsored by this company, but they did say they were going to throw in some extra stuff for me to do my install. So this is the 10 amp hour battery. Here's your connection, your mail end. What I like about this battery is it's completely waterproof. It's enclosed in some kind of silicone casing. And you can just keep this anywhere pretty much. It's waterproof, so you don't have to worry about sealing it. But I do plan on putting this in some type of container just to keep all the cables and everything organized inside there. All right, so the battery, that's nice. Oh, it's like a dry bag, maybe for your cell phone. All right, thanks NOCQUA. They did send some free gear. Won't be part of this install. So yeah, what else we got? Oh, some stickers. This is a split. This is gonna allow me to connect 2 NOCQUA 10 amp hour batteries together with just one output. And this is the USB. It's dual port, which is good. And it has a waterproofing cover. So we'll get into it, but before we do, oh, there's one more thing. This will connect to the splitter, right? And what's good about this battery connector is, even though I'm going to connect 2 batteries to this, it's really acting as one. One, I can switch which battery I want to power first. But then 2, let's say I'm using them both in conjunction. When one runs out, it'll automatically, in theory, transfer to the other battery. So yeah, excited to get going here. But before we do that, I need to get rid of all this stuff off the kayak. Just have a clean surface to work from. And we'll get going. So I will be right back. All right, I'm back. As you can see, cleared off everything. Just easier to work. So the first thing I want to do is, so this is the dual USB port. So the top USB is 1 amp, the bottom one is 2.1 amp. I'm trying to figure out the best place to put this. You know, I want it to be within arm's reach, but I also kind of want it to be out of the way. Initially, I was thinking somewhere here, close to the hatch, but then again, my pedal drive goes here, so I don't want to have any issues kicking it, getting it tangled in my feet. So I'm kind of leaning towards this side. So right now, I have all my wiring, my fish finder, everything on the left side of my kayak. That's just my preference. So the website doesn't say, or I couldn't find how big of a hole I need to drill to slide this in. So this is the backing. I took it off, and so we know it. The hole size is going to be approximately about that big. So I'm going to figure out where I want it, which is about there. I'm just going to go ahead and trace that. And I did already check what's behind here, and it's empty, so I can easily drill. kind of figure out, just ballpark where the center is. Okay. So I'm going to first start by drilling a small hole in the center. So my 1-inch chisel bit is on my drill. And I think it's bigger than 1 inch, but it's always better to start the hole smaller. And you can always expand it. Yeah, you put the tip in that small hole you just drilled. Just go nice and slow. That's it. Easy breezy. So, as I mentioned, it's not big enough. So we'll have to expand that hole a little bit. It might be 1 1/4. Needed something 1 1/8. So what I have here is this Milwaukee hole saw. So as you can see, it says on there 1 1/8. Go nice and slow. Clean up the edges here. Some of that sandpaper. Get any burrs off. Okay. You don't want that digging into the rubber. Let's give it a test. Throw this in here. Perfect. Perfect fit. So now what we need to do, now that's in, it's a good fit, we need to get this backing piece on there, and that'll provide the watertight seal, pushing this flush against the kayak. So we're going to get this cleaned up a little bit, just dust it off. Okay, we'll vacuum the inside, get all this cleaned up. Then I'll show you once the installation is complete. Let me give you a little peek of the inside of the kayak. Get a flashlight on here. As you can see, there's the light shining through the hole, and then there's some of the debris. I'll get that cleaned up. So you're gonna have to reach in there and screw that backing on, and that's why I say it needs to be somewhat close to this opening if you have this kayak, or if you don't, where your arm can reach and screw that on. So the USB port installation is complete. I actually like that location even more now that I think about it. It's next to a storage pocket, so I can put things in while they're charging. It's close to the hatch here because you have to access it to be able to, tighten that ring around the gasket. And then plus it's on a vertical surface, which I think is a must on a kayak, because you don't want any standing water going in there, even though there is that rubber cap. But as you can see, I got my phone charging. I got the iPad with the little Itman 4 on there. And this is great. All right, so now that the USB port is installed, I'm going to show you one of the reasons I love NOCQUA. All their accessories plug and play, so it just makes it very simple for anyone to do. So again, the plan is to connect 2 of these batteries together. So each of these NOCQUA batteries comes with a male end right here. And so the way you're going to connect 2 of them together is this SmartLink battery connector. See the Y there? You're going to connect each battery to each of the ends. By the way, I think they just came out with a 20 amp. If that was available before I bought my first one, I'd probably not have to do this. Okay, this is how simple it is. So both batteries are now connected to this smart connector. And so now you're left just with this one connector. And now you're gonna need this other Y connector now for the output. So basically this one has one input and then two outputs here. So one will go to the fish finder and one will go to the USB, and you're done. Your two batteries are now connected through this smartlink battery connector to a Y connector. Okay, all you're left are these two. Okay, now let's go ahead and hook it up. So I have this ammo can. Again, this is completely optional since the NOCQUA batteries are waterproof, but it's really for cable management. And so I'll just throw these two in here, just like that. And then what I'll do is eventually drill a hole somewhere here so that the cables can come out. Put the smart connector in there. The only thing that's going to come out is this Y connector piece. So it should look something like this. So go somewhere like there. Okay, so the connections are all complete. So this one from the Y connector, that's to the USB. This one's to the fish finder. So you close that up. Have the fish finder connected, as well as my phone. Let's see if we're getting power. No. Check the phone. No. All right. Maybe there's a bad connection. Look at it. I think I know what it is. There's a button on this smart link connector you have to turn on. This thing here. Probably didn't. Nope, did not turn it on. There we go. We have power on the phone. And let's try the fish finder. Yes, we have power to both. All right, let's get the lights installed. So this is called SMY lighting. Very inexpensive, bought it on Amazon. It's got adhesive backing so you can just stick it anywhere and cut it too. So let's give it a shot. You just basically plug it into the USB. Okay, the light installation is complete. I didn't film it because it's just, again, it's very simple. It's basically a sticker and you just peel the back and put it on wherever you want. I mean, I got it kind of going all over the place, but it's fun. You know, would I substitute this for navigation lights? No. But if you want to have a little fun on your kayak, which is supposed to be fun, right? For a very inexpensive nominal price for these lights, then why not? It's supposed to be waterproof. Comes with this remote here so you can change colors. So this wraps up the video. We got the USB ports on, we got the battery installed, we got the lights on. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, take care.